Hi, I'm Paul Friedman. I'm the founder of the Marriage Foundation. This topic is a declaration of, I don't like my wife anymore. That's what the topic is. And you're not alone. There are many men who get angry and they declare, and even if they're not angry, but they're just thinking about what's going on in their marriage, and they're going, I just don't like her anymore. And I need to do something or I'm going to lose my marriage. And that is the truth. If you don't do something, if you don't shift the trend of your thinking, you're going to lose your marriage. And so, what's going on? You got married in order to be happier. And so did your wife. You got married in order to exploit the love that you felt within the context of marriage, which is a closed area. I call it the sacred space of marriage. But right now, you soulmates are starting to look like cellmates, and it seems anything but a sacred space. And so the problem is not a matter of fault. It is a matter of not knowing. We don't grow up with any understanding of marriage whatsoever. When we are driving a car and learning how to drive a car, we have good training. We know where all the knobs are and what to do and the switches and what the brake does, and we know how it works. And then we get out on the road and we have great examples, living examples right in front of us, so we know how to drive well. We even see living examples of crappy drivers, so we know what not to do. But we don't have that in marriage. And I used to be a divorce mediator over 20 years ago, and I shifted because I realized nobody knows anything about marriage. And so what happened was I had a couple who asked me to help them with their marriage. They didn't want a divorce. They just ended up in my office because all of their therapy failed, which it always does, by the way. And so I had to dig into what is marriage? What's it all about? And I began with asking this question. Why do people get married in the first place? Not why did you marry your queen, but why do you get married in the first place? And the answer is happiness. And so start connecting the dots. We want happiness. We know intuitively, if nothing else, that marriage can produce happiness, but we think it's dependent on the other person, and that's where we go wrong. It isn't. It's dependent on us. It's not just dependent. Some people promote, oh, you both have to want it. Well, both of you do want it. It's just that some get tired of wanting it and not getting it. So what I've been doing with the Marriage Foundation is teaching people how to be married. If your marriage has gone way down the tubes and, it's going, then you may need help getting back up, but then you're going to transcend anything you ever imagined. That's what our courses are for. Now, a lot of people just watch our videos. They're subscribers. You should definitely subscribe because you will learn so much about marriage. It's off the charts. Here's a truth. The truth is when you understand marriage, just you, your wife doesn't have to. Let's put aside right now the temporary problem. And I know you're saying it's not temporary, I really mean it. I know you really mean it, but this temporary problem, I don't like my wife. Okay, I got it. But let's put that aside. Let's take a look at the real reality that you don't know how to love her. You don't know how to be married. You don't even know much about yourself. I'll give you a great example. And this is one of the things I also discovered that will, over the course of years or decades maybe, change, where we start learning that we are souls who have a mind and have a body. The common thinking is, well, I have a soul, I guess. And it's so weird because the people who are our teachers is the Western psychological community. And even among them, I would say 90% of them believe in God, right? I mean, because over 90% of the people in our country, at least, your country, any Western country, believes in God in some form. And yet, the tiny small percentage of people, and I'm going to say it's probably more like 5% who really adamantly are atheists, they're running the show. They're controlling the educational system. They're the ones controlling the governments. They're the ones saying, no, you can't talk about God. And if you can't talk about God, then God forbid you should mention that you're a soul, because that's talking about God. Well, you are a soul, and you met your soulmate. And so all of this common thinking out there right now is just plain wrong. You need to learn about yourself. You need to learn how to connect with your wife on a deeper level. Then you're going to love her again. You already still do love her. It's just what you really don't like is the way you're being treated, isn't it? Isn't it so? And guess what? You're being treated that way because she's being treated her way. And one of you's got to take the initiative. So you've come to us, you take the initiative, okay? Here, and take my magic wand. Here, you take the initiative, and I promise you, you'll be able to turn everything around. But you got to get educated. You got to make the right kind of effort, and then it will work. What is the right kind of effort? It is not just in the doing. It's not. Most men, because I work with both men and women, but most men say, well, look, just tell me what to do. Okay, I'm going to tell you what to do. You're going to have to, I'm going to tell you this, and I'm smiling because many years ago I faced this same issue. We men are very mechanical. What do? I know I can do this. And someone explained to me that you need to cultivate devotion. Devotion. And I'm like, well, I am devoted. I protect, da-da-da-da. No, devotion from the heart. Love from the heart. It's a whole different world, marriage is. And it's psychedelic in a way because you start to feel this love and it carries you away. But first step is you got to learn how to master your mind. Isn't that crazy? But it's the truth. So you could read my books, you got to watch these videos, you got to subscribe, you could read my articles, but if you're really smart, you're going to get that course. It's well worth the money. This is not a sales pitch just for the course. We sell plenty, but you got to turn it around because you can go from the hell you're currently in to walking on seventh heaven. And I'm not kidding you. And that's our promise. That's our commitment to you when you take the course. So anyway, I'm glad you came by. If you're a regular here, then I'm going to remind you that we are starting a training program for TMF counselors so that you can learn to work one-on-one with people, one-on-two with people, and help them with their marriages too. Just go to our website. So thank you for visiting. I'm Paul Friedman, the founder. God bless you, and take care.